Welcome to Crossroads Live. We are on the road in Hico, Texas. We are at the Billy the Kid Film Festival, along with the Spirit of the Cowboy. And I've got to sit here with a friend of mine that I met a few months back. What's the name of that town we were in?
Gainesville.
Gainesville. I keep forgetting about Gainesville. We were in Gainesville at the Writers Roundup.
Correct.
And I got to interview you, and you did a poem for me all about the backyard ride, the wild backyard ride.
Right, because I'm not a cowboy, but I like to do cowboy poetry.
You like, you write the poetry, right?
I write poetry.
And I know, wasn't you the one who got poetry from other people too, and y'all put it all together for a book?
Correct, I have a compilation of 6 different poets in this poetry book right here.
Well, why don't we just show our audience this book here? There you go. You want to talk a little bit about the book?
It's a beautiful book. We put it together with authentic pictures that relate to each poem, and the poetry in here is really good. I had a guy pick it up recently, and he read one. He said, "Yep, that's how it is."
That's how it is, huh? Yeah, very good. Yeah, but the thing about it, so is poetry something that has come natural to you, or did you develop that?
It's natural because you as a writer, you look at things a little differently, and you find the meaning in things more genuinely. And I have people all the time say to me, you see things differently than I do. And so the talent of being able to put the emotion into the words and to relate to the audience hearing or reading it is, I think, something a little bit unusual. Of course, I am kind of strange.
You said that. I didn't. But I want to ask you something. It may sound like a dumb question. But I'm going to ask you.
It gets a dumb answer then, right?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Does poetry always have to rhyme?
It does not. No. There are absolutely no rules for poetry.
No rules?
No rules. No rules. You can do whatever you want to do. A lot of times a free verse is what does not rhyme, and it is a continuation of a thought, of an idea, of a whatever that you have that you're not trying to emphasize one thing over another. A lot of times rhyme is for that, to emphasize a line or a word. I tend to do it more for fun because I'm a comic at heart, and so I have fun with it. And but I do tend to rhyme more than not.
Yeah. Well, I was just always wondering about that, because I've heard songs that didn't seem to rhyme to me.
Well, they probably have internal rhymes where it rhymes one word with another word, and then there's a long line after that doesn't.
Yeah.
And so it's in there. You probably just haven't listened close enough.
Well, I'm working on that.
Yeah.
Well, what I wanted to ask you about was that like with me, when I write screenplays, but I carry an idea around for a long, long time before I even sit down to start to write.
Sure, you get it in your head. I call it like it's like a marble up there, and it's rolling around.
Yeah.
And I say it has to. I ruminate on it. I ruminate on it. Some people call it incubating or whatever, but yeah, you have an idea of a story or a thought that you want to relay, and it takes a while for the words to fall in place.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to let it roll around in your brain.
Well, yeah, because I've always said writing should never be called writing. It should be called rewriting. Because I do a lot of that.
And that is for sure. But the most important part is to get it down the first time.
Well, it is. Well,
but then you got to polish it and make it better.
Yeah. Well, what I try to do is get the basic idea.
Correct.
Correct. And then I find that now, in writing screenplays, which is a little different, I find that sometimes I've written a scene and you get on the set and that scene does not work. And I have to go back and rewrite it to where it works. And sometimes the wording or whatever, the action or whatever just didn't work. And so I had to go back and rewrite it.
Well, and especially if you're working with dialogue and characters,
Yeah, right.
that you would have to do that.
Yeah.
And you do that when writing a story as well. You write it down, and then my first book, I wrote it all, and then I rearranged it all. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, this doesn't go here, this needs to go here, and this needs to go here. It was the same stories,
Yeah.
but they fit better in a different spot.
Your writing, well, growing up, did you have a writer who you were fascinated with, someone who really that you...
Not really, but my father was a lover of words. He was a country boy who grew up in southern Missouri, and he did the crossword puzzle every day, and he was very well spoken, and he inspired me to be a writer, I believe, because he would have been a teacher or something if his life had been different.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I always liked the idea. But I remember, I'll tell you a quick little story. When I was like a kid, everybody, you know how you playing in the schoolyard and everybody's playing and everybody's saying, well, if you was in the movie, what would you like to be? And one guy said, I want to be a bad guy. Another guy said, I want to be Roy Rogers. Another guy, whatever. And they looked at me and they go, what do you want to do? I said, I'd like to write the screenplay. Now, where did that come from as a kid?
Because you had it in you as a writer.
Yeah.
And you knew that you wanted to tell the story, not be the story.
Yeah, well, I did, and then of course then when I got out of the service and went to school, I was going to go to school and study writing, and so, but I wanted to be like, in my mind, I wanted to be like a playwright. That's what I'm thinking. See? And then so they said, well, you've done some acting, study acting. If you're going to write for actors, you need to know acting.
Yes.
Made sense. And so that's how I became a writer and an actor. So there you go.
There you go, package deal.
Package deal. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I want to get you to do this poem, and I understand it's about my hero.
Apparently so.
Yeah, well, Gene Autry was my hero growing up.
Indeed, okay.
And but I like Gene and I like Roy. And I'll tell you what, why don't I just step out and just let you do the poem by yourself? I'll step over here.
That'd be great.
All right.
Okay.
And I'll be back in a little bit.
Okay.
Howdy, folks. My name is Jim Hoffpauir, and you can usually catch me on Crossroads Live with my good friend and sidekick, Sylvia Harrah. But today I'm out here with Danny Boy, out here at the Crossroads Ranch. My request is this. Have you signed up to be an organ donor? And have you talked this over with your loved ones so that they know your desires? That is a gift that only you and God together can give to those in need. So, till we meet again, good luck, God bless, and we'll see you at the Crossroads. Let's go, Dan.
A poem I wrote for an event at the Dublin, Texas Rodeo Heritage Museum where they were having a Gene Autry Day. And so this is about Gene Autry. He lost his mother at 4, but he knew his fame would soar. When working the telegraph, he sang for Will Rogers for a laugh. Gene became the yodeling cowboy, and performing for folks became his joy. Starred in a film in 35 and knew right then he had arrived. From Texas down to Hollywood, he was determined to really make good, both in rodeo and in the cinema. He had star power and lots of charisma. made 50 films with Smiley Burnett. They'd sing and ride and not even have a drop of sweat. He knew stars, both human and from the stable. Heck, he was almost as famous as Clark Gable. But after the war, his fame became clear when he sang that song, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Early TV and big rodeos, everyone watched the Gene Autry show. Andy Oakley and Buffalo Bill Jr., every venture was a big winner. Flying A pictures showed folks the cowboy way. Why, Gene even bought the California A's. Gene Autry is the only name with all 5 stars in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He was a flight officer in World War II, the only pilot allowed to wear his cowboy boots. Thousands of people visit his museums, and in the past, millions of folks came to see him. There's a story of Gene riding in a parade where not one bit of attention was he paid. Looking from champion to the red suit behind, he penned a song, To the Situation Resigned. Later the tune would gain great applause because the kids were yelling, Here comes Santa Claus. He lived to be age 91. This singing cowboy was second to none. Honors galore for this one man, forever back in the saddle again. He had talent and guts, which comes to few. But Gene Autry did it with a yodel-ay-hee-hoo.
Love it. I love it. I love it. All about my hero, Gene Autry.
How about you?
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You brought that to the right show.
Yes.
You did. That was
Okay.
wonderful.
Outstanding.
Yeah. I didn't never know Gene. I never got to meet him. But I interviewed his secretary, Maxine Hanson. Wonderful lady. And I've interviewed his cousins. And of course, I know John Buttram, who is the nephew of Pat Buttram, who became his sidekick.
Right.
And so I've learned a lot about Gene from these guys.
There you go.
And I'll tell you what I want to do. I don't know how you top that poem. That's just one. Where can they get the copy of this? Is it in one of your books?
It is not. I haven't put it into print yet. You have to be careful with the Gene Autry name. They don't like you to use it very much, so I'm going to make sure that it's okay before I put it into print.
Yeah. I just contact the museum and see what they have to say.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, I appreciate you doing this so much with me and bringing Gene Autry. I love to hear Gene Autry stories. But I tell you what, I have a gift for you.
What? You have a gift for me?
Yes, I do. Here's a copy of my movie.
Your
that
movie?
won the screenplay.
All right.
The screenplay. There it is. Hero
Aren't
on the
you
Range.
sweet? Thank you.
I want you to have that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And thanks for being on Crossroads one more time.
All right.
We'll do it again, okay?
You bet.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I'm Colin Ray. Within the next 30 seconds, at least 3 children will be physically or sexually abused. We must stop this national tragedy that robs our children of their innocence, their dignity, and often their lives. If you or someone you know are being abused, call Child Help USA National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4A-CHILD. Call is free and confidential 24 hours a day. 1-800-4A-CHILD. You can stop child abuse.
Welcome back to Crossroads Live, ladies and gentlemen. We're in Hico, Texas. We're at the Billy the Kid Film Festival, along with the Spirit of the Cowboy. And I'm sitting here with this beautiful lady right now, and she's going to tell me her name.
My name, author name is Juliette Douglas.
Juliette Douglas. Juliette?
Juliette.
Juliette. I have had such trouble with names lately.
I know. Isn't
Well,
it
I
awful?
didn't-
You know how many Julies there are here at this Heiko Billy the Kid Film Festival.
My goodness gracious.
Tons.
Tons?
Tons. And I got the "et" on the end of my Julie.
Oh, okay. Where's home?
Where is home? I live in far western Kentucky near the lakes. There's Kentucky Lake and Barkley Lake.
Yeah.
Benton, Kentucky, and my little hometown is called Fair Dealing in Marshall County, Kentucky. So I drove a fur piece to get here.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you made it.
I am too.
I'm glad you made
God's
it.
blessing us.
God's
isn't he?
blessing us. He's letting us live down here in
Yes.
Heiko. No, you. How long you been writing books?
Just 7 years.
7 years. But you
And
got 3 written.
I've got
and
3.
published.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Since 2013.
Well, let me ask you this. We're going to show you the books here in just a minute, folks. But I wanted to ask, where can people get copies of these books?
My website is not up, I'm sorry, yet. Amazon would be the best
Amazon?
way. Amazon.com, and look for, everyone ready? The Freckled Venom series by Juliette Douglas.
All right. All right. As a little girl growing up, did you always want to write? Was that not a burning desire? No.
No.
Not at all.
This is where God must have stepped in, because I woke up with these ideas in my head one day.
Yeah.
And that was 7 years ago, and they drove me nuts until I was able to get a computer and start writing them.
And so, do you look at writing like I look at writing, like just rewriting? I'm always rewriting when I'm writing. Or do you get an idea and then it's solid?
Usually my ideas are solid. When I get an idea, I don't write a draft, I don't have an outline. Everything is in my head.
Yeah.
And I write the scenes, the dialogue, everything comes out of my head. Nothing is down on paper until I produce a book, or I'm typing the book as I go along. I know it's weird.
I
That's
find
why
that
I say,
amazing.
that's got to be a God thing. I am so blessed.
Because with me, writing, I always say it's rewriting. Because I'm always rewriting. Because I'll write something and go, wow, that's pretty good. But then I get thinking about it and I find in my head another way that would make it better. Or like, I told somebody earlier today, like I write screenplays.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I get a screenplay and I get out and you're working with an actor or a certain personality or whatever.
Flexibility.
And I try, when I write, I try to write the character who I'm writing for. I try to get inside that personality of that person that I'm writing for. If you have that luxury to be able to do that, and which I have the last 2 movies that I wrote. And let me clear that, the only 2 movies that I wrote that's been produced.
My characters like to take over sometimes. They want their story told. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when I sit down at my desk to begin writing or pick up and like you say, rewrite, go through another scene, all of a sudden my fingers are flying across the keys and I have no earthly idea what I wrote until I go back and reread it, because my characters want their stories told. Mm-hmm. They're fun stories, they're quirky stories, we try and keep it I do, as authentic as I can to the true West. I like classic westerns, so I write classic westerns. I have very strong female characters in my books because women were not given the voice in westerns back then. When Roy L'Amour was writing, they were always secondary characters. And I set out to change that because there were strong female characters in the Old West. You know, we have Belle Starr, we have some of the others, but what about the homestead wives? What about
hard-working women?
The hard-working women. What about, the ones that help to run the stores? you know, they all had to learn to fight and survive. So I took an Old West story. We all love to read stories about bounty hunters. So I took an Old West story and put a twist on it. And I have a female bounty hunter in 1878, Wyoming. And she's wounded, and she ends up in her old hometown. And from there, all heck breaks loose.
Now, is that in the first book? Is that what the first book's about?
Yes, sir.
In her beginning of how her career started?
Yeah, there's some backstory in there, and it also continues in the second book, the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
The two books do not miss a beat. That's why I try and sell them as a series.
Yeah.
You've got to read all three of them, and I've been very blessed by the amount of people who love the books because they're different.
Yeah.
They're not the man saves the distraught female. No, my female basically saves the man, who happens to be the marshal, by covering his back when they're in trouble. But it was a fun story to write. Lacey will always have a special place in my heart. And I have quirky characters. There's tense moments, there's serious moments, there's fun moments, there's humor.
What about romance?
We are all students in the School of Big Storms. We have learned what happens when governments, families, and communities aren't prepared for hurricanes. Now, scientists say a changing climate may mean more frequent and violent storms, and we need to act before the next big storm hits, to prepare and protect families and communities and restore the natural defense system, the wetlands and forests that protect us all from high water and winds. Together we can do it. Learn how.
There's a little bit of romance in here. My books are mostly action-adventure with humor and a little bit of a love story. I like action-adventure.
Is your main character having a romance, or is it other characters having a romance?
My main character has a romance with the marshal of the town, but it's more or less in the second book.
Oh, here we go. Let's show
There's
that
the second book.
What's the name of that?
It's Freckled Venom, Copperhead Strikes. She has a lot of things that come out of her past in this second book. And how is she going to deal with the demons from her past? Read the book and find out. Okay, being a bounty hunter, which you know had to be a tough job. It was.
Okay. How did men react to her? Was it like a, oh my God, you're a woman, that big deal, and then she blows them away? Boom.
She normally just kind of ignored them.
Like most of the women I know. Go ahead.
But she just kind of, she had a job to do. It put money in her pocket so she could have, a fork and knife dinner every now and then. And maybe sleep in a real bed every now and then. A lot of times she didn't get paid because, she'd go to turn in or bring the body in or bring the person in.
What about, maybe it's a little crazy thing is, women outlaws. Should go after women outlaws or just men?
That might be some future stories.
It's an idea, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's a very good one.
Yeah, well, you can use that.
It's a very good one.
Help yourself.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. And, but anyway, no, I thought that might be interesting. Let's talk a little bit about your third book here. This is wonderful.
Freckled Venom Skeletons is the third book in the series. And this takes place 10 years later. And an old friend, bad guy, comes back to the town to haunt them and kidnaps the children to take across to Mexico to sell as slaves. The silver mines and the whorehouses and stuff like that. And the chase is on.
Yes.
And that's all I'm going to say.
That's all you got to say. I think I got the idea. I got to drift to the story.
You got to get the books to read the story.
Yeah, no, I got to drift to the story. And Yeah, that is wonderful. I'm telling you what, you are amazing with your storylines, and
well,
I love
thank you
it.
very much.
You know, it's very
It's
good.
different.
Well, they need to get to making a movies and using your books.
Well, thank you very much.
I think that's wonderful. I want to tell you what, before we close, I want to give you a little something. This is my film, Hero on the
Cool.
Raid. It's the one that won the screenwriters.
Oh, yeah,
Award.
we got to mention the first book won the Laramie Award for Best Debut.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, we got to get that in.
Yeah, let's get
Give
that
us a
in.
couple
Laramie
more seconds
Award.
of airtime.
Right, there you go.
Laramie Award for Best Debut Western.
Laramie Award. All right, there you go.
Western, I mean.
Well, here, we'll put them both together. Award-winning
Award-winning stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Stuff.
Yeah, there you go. Award-winning stuff. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Be safe going home.
Same to you.
All right. And well,
Do you live here?
no. Well, I live in Texas.
Oh, okay.
I
You don't have
live up in Denton, Texas.
Okay.
And but I have a good chauffeur. And I have a lady chauffeur.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, she likes to tell me where to go.
Okay.
All right. All right. Good night, everybody. See you later. All right, welcome back to Crossroads Live. I'll tell you what, great video. I'll tell you what, a while ago we had some technical problems with Becca Agrees. I wanted to play that for everybody. Here's a clip of Becca Agrees. I think you're in it.
I think you're in it
Yeah.
too.
Okay, we'll be back.
Yeah.
Did you ever go back to college?
Oh, yes, I'm so proud to say I did. I have my master's degree in theater arts.
Really?
Yeah. But you know, the powers that be, they could care less.
I guess I'm never going to understand.
Okay, Jake. If Becca will let you,
Yeah.
take a good look at me and tell me what you see. And just be honest. Tell me what you see.
Well, like I told you before, what I see is a beautiful, sexy woman. And I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Thank you. That's sweet. But you see, right there is the problem. That's all they see. They're trying to typecast me into playing nothing but dumb blonde parts. And there's just more to this package than that.
So, what I'm getting out of all this is they just won't let you play different roles, right?
Right. That's exactly what happened. And I know I have talent and can play many different types of parts. Yeah, see? Becca agrees.
She does agree.
Agree.
All right.
Yes.
That's for Becca.
At least somebody agrees with me,
Yeah.
even if it is a horse.
I'll tell you what. You want to give out our official website thing for the movie?
Yes, our official website is herointherainmovie.com. Fairly easy.
There it is. All right. I'll tell you what we got.
We also got, for question or comments, you can email us at hero2005@flash.net.
All right. I'll tell you what. Why don't we leave everybody with a little Ricky Lane Gray?
So, till we meet again, good luck, God bless, and we'll see you at the crossroads. Let's go, Dan.